I will say that some group of the people might not accept us, but please ask for the many of the group of the people, because the majority, some also support us, because I think we also doing all the policy and run the countries. But anyway, I came from the election. I think this is the one thing, that the way to tell that this government satisfied with the people is democracy. I think this is the way that the thing should be. So that's why myself and my government, we came from the election. So I think the election and the democracy has the process to monitor and to be judged and to evaluate myself, that whether I should be in this position or not.
Well, in that case, why don't you call a new election now? If the situation stop, but now the situation is not stopped. So please, I think right now, that's why we open the dialogue. So whatever will keep the democracy, whatever will keep the peaceful way, whatever will keep the followed by the rule of law, that will be the right answer. So you don't want to call an election now, but maybe later?
If you call it with the election, we have to ask that the protester will satisfy or not.
They might not be, but if you called an election, it would take some of the pressure out. Mm-hmm. People would focus on campaigning. Wouldn't that be a good solution right now?
I think we have to see the situation. And I think right now, the situation needs to contain and make sure that the government can go on and run. So if we can clear this first, and we can stop and make sure the government runs, so we can discuss and see how we can handle the country, how we can move forward.
If these protests carry on this way, will you at some stage have to use force against them, deploy the police, use much tougher methods, do you think?
No, I think we think that the police can be handled with the situation. Because
they're not handling it, they're just bashing off completely, aren't they? The police are doing nothing at the moment.
No, I think because we don't want to confront, we're using the law, so that's why. We don't want just only like, we do some like make, but move forward and make people unhappy. So we have to be careful, because this situation is very sensitive. It doesn't mean that government just like back off, but I think we have our position and standpoint, and let the policemen follow the step by step. For the first step, the negotiation.
Given how much pressure there is on you, why don't you just give up the job and go back and do your business job? You'd get much less pressure, much less abuse.
The most important thing that my government came from election, so I don't want other way that unlawful or undemocracy will be destroy the system. So that's why we need to make sure that the system still go on.
But don't you get tired of doing the job? Don't you just think sometimes, this is enough, I've given enough now, I want to do something else?
No, I think this is the job of the Prime Minister, have to make sure that the country will be peaceful. But I think myself, I devote myself for the countries. I'm not being tired. I will not being upset. But I think only one thing that we have to fight for remain democracy.